That would be news, of course. American planes flying over Ukraine could be shot down by the Russians, start a war. President Biden later clarified and confirmed the story we told you about last night. American C-17s will soon airdrop supplies into Gaza. Called the world's most expensive photo op. The entire Air Force couldn't drop enough food to feed Gaza. So this is about President Biden's base that overwhelmingly disapproves of his policy towards Israel and Gaza, so he can say he is doing something, a base he hopes to shore up next week. With his State of the Union speech, the White House reportedly thinks a strong showing in prime time will make up for the recent gaffes and new concerns about his age. Chris Stirewalt is here, host of The Hill Sunday, premiering 10 a.m. Eastern. There he is, right here on NewsNation. Congratulations. Ratings will be similar to Biden's State of the Union and the premiere of The Hill.
Huge. People are saying Super Bowl's number may fall once we get control of the air here at NewsNation HQ in Washington.
All right. Who has higher expectations, Biden or you, this week?
Well, here's the thing. I have no expectations for myself, and surely people who have followed my career over decades have no expectations for me. So we're playing with house money. It's going to be great.
All right. It is going to be great. I'm assuming you are looking forward to the coming week and the State of the Union?
Sure. I mean, I hate the State of the Union as an institution. It's a hideous institution, and it was invented, as we understand it, by Lyndon Johnson in 1964 to put a stamp on the legitimacy of his presidency that he had inherited only the November before, and he turned it into a primetime spectacle, and it's the pits. It was bad then. Because it was about performance, not policy or real politics. Now in a politics that is only performance, right? It's only about messaging and it's only about spin. What do we need the State of the Union for? Every day is the State of the Union.
See, I feel as though this is why The Hill has a chance to be successful, because no Washington wonk will actually say that.
My crabbiness, you feel that my crabbiness could be the key to our massive success? I
was going to say that it's going to be sincerity.
Oh, well.
And truthfulness.
You know, I do think this. There is an audience of people. There are a number of Americans, and I know that I meet them, and they buy my books, and they come and hear me talk. I don't know how many of them there are, but there are lots of Americans who are basically burned out on rage. They're basically burned out on the premise that to understand politics or look at government or do that stuff, not only do you have to pick a team, but that everything has to be boiled down into a reductive, we're good, you're bad, we're good, you're evil. And that's not good enough for a country this great. And I think there are lots of people out there who would like to dip a toe back into the waters of political coverage without having to feel like they have to take a shower.
An interesting metaphor for Sunday morning. Bloomberg swing state polling. Former President Trump is up in all of them. Mm-hmm. How is it possible, though, to cover a presidential race that, unless there is some odd actuarial event between now and November, is likely going to be between two of the most unpopular people who then dig for the bottom?
So I won't quibble about the Morning Consult's quality of polling. I will say that poll, though, I'm not going to poo-poo it because it is directionally correct, which is to say that the incumbent president is really struggling. And he's really struggling. Look, I don't think that that's really what Pennsylvania looks like, but Pennsylvania shouldn't be close. Right? Michigan shouldn't be that close. And
shouldn't be that close for Trump or for Biden?
Shouldn't be that close for Biden. Those are states Biden should win, and he won Michigan by more than 100,000 votes before. Here's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out two things. Number one, are the Biden protesters, are the people who are upset at Biden for being too far to the center when it comes to Israel, when it comes to immigration, when it comes to those other things, who are mad at him for being moderate, will they be frightened back into the Democratic Party fold by the idea of Trump returning to power? Here's the other thing we don't know. What will the Nikki Haley kind of Republicans do? So it's all fun and games until you say, okay, no, this is really happening. We've been talking about, and people have been dreading now for 2 years, this rematch. The social psychological component of this, once you get into the actual election and people are actually confronted with this, when the rubber hits the road, then people have harder choices to make.
Social psychological Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.